Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, and yet again we have an ugly win by the Tennessee Titans, but another win by the Tennessee Titans as the Titans beat the Indianapolis Colts 20-16. And yet again, people, I'm sorry, I know I sound like a broken record, but so does this football team. We win ugly, and I'm happy. I'm sorry, I know everyone's still upset on Twitter. I know the first half was awful, but I tweeted in the middle of the damn game when the Colts scored their touchdown. I tweeted that gif of the dog surrounded by fire, drinking his coffee, saying, "This is fine." Because ultimately, I felt that this game was going to be fine, that we were going to do our move, and this is our move at this point, and that is come back and win the game when we needed to most. Now, that didn't happen last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it's happened every other week when we should win. We've now won, what is it? Is it 5 of our last 6 games or something like that? 4 of the last 5, 5 of the last 6. Really good lately outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers loss. People, I'm fine with this. Look, it's not great, but it's another win by the Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about it. Let's start by talking about the controversial man still in Nashville, and that is Marcus Mariota. Had 2 interceptions today, and look, I don't care about the second one. Taywan Taylor fell on that play. Now, yes, that ball was a little overthrown, but trust me, dog, if Taywan Taylor continues his progression, continues his route, he will disturb that pass. It is not going to be intercepted. Anyone that has a mind of physics can see his acceleration, his velocity was going to carry him to be in the trajectory of the football. So I don't want to hear about that second interception. The first one, I need to check the all-22 film, but it looks like the cornerback just cut Harry Douglas, who, by the way, played today. What the hell? Okay, you know, actually, I didn't even know this. I followed this team. I covered this team. I literally did not know until this week that Harry Douglas was on IR. This was news to me. I had seen him on the sidelines in his street clothes, and I just figured, oh, he's just inactive every week. He's the de facto wide receiver coach, whatever. No, he's actually been injured, and maybe thank God, because he came out today, and he wasn't this god-awful, but he wasn't good. He and Mariota had no chemistry. Interception was thrown his way. He had a good opportunity to come down with a nice pass in the third quarter, and he dropped the damn ball, ridiculously so, on what was a great throw by Mariota, but whatever. Okay, so Mariota today, 17 of 25. Okay, let's just go ahead and call this 16 of 24. I'm going to remove, no, 17 of 24. I'm going to remove that interception. Let's just remove it, okay? 1 touchdown, 1 interception, because these are the real stats. Okay, so 17 to 24, that's not bad, people. The touchdown was good to Delaney Walker. The interception, not great, but this is kind of what I expect from him. It sucks that he's not having the statistical year that a lot of us thought that he would. A lot of us would have liked for him to have, but he's still having those moments of brilliance. You saw his first quarter brilliant throw to Delaney Walker, who was triple covered to the left side of the field. That might be his best throw all season. Honestly, what a throw. You saw the first throw of the game, a crossing route to Eric Decker that went under the radar, but that was a fantastic throw. Hit Eric Decker right in the bread basket. But you see, the problem is so many of Mariota's throws have to be fantastic for them to even have a shot. We don't develop a very good and sound passing offense and concepts to me offensively. We just don't do it. Either it's going to be a really hard throw like a seam throw, a deep post, a go route, very difficult throws to make, or stupid throws, like your stupid screens that we do, or stupid misdirection here, no there, crap, you know, that junk that Terry Robisky forms and calls. So, you know, that's my problem there with our passing offense. But look, I still think this guy's good. He has his problems. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback. I never went on board saying he was, by the way. I said this year he was going to become one. I said he was above average. I felt I would rank him around 14th heading into this year. Now he's under average to me. I mean, if you have this kind of year, you do need to go down a couple of rungs on the ladder. But I would still rank him around 20. And next year, if he plays great, he can end up being top 10 again. But he's going to have to bounce back here, and I think that he will. Because, again, if you look at the statistical years of guys like Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, even Tom Brady, they've had their down years. Cam Newton's been up and down his entire career. What you need to see is their worst moments, like Mariota's worst moments, aren't too bad, and his best moments are pretty freaking good. And that tells you, yeah, we need to commit to this guy long term. I'm fine with Mariota. A running game, I'm done with DeMarco Murray being the starting running back of this football team. It is Derrick Henry time, people. And I've been a little up and down on this, self-admittedly, throughout this season. But look, I think we got to go all in on Henry. He's just been better at this point, and it's been pretty evident now. This game solidified it for me. When we were down, what was it, 20? No, not 20. We were down 16 to 13, right? We were driving down the field. Derrick Henry absolutely took over that drive. He led us down the field, scored. He didn't score the touchdown that went to DeMarco Murray, but scored the touchdown preceding that one. And actually, no, he did. But still, I was very impressed with Derrick Henry today. Averaged 6.1 yards per carry. And what he does that DeMarco Murray doesn't is he more often than not makes something out of nothing. You know, if there's a defending player that has penetrated the backfield very early in the play, then he's screwed, right? His legs are too damn long. But if he's able to get out in the open field, he sometimes make a conversation out of plays where there's no conversation to be had. He'll be screwed, and you'll be like, okay, he's about to come down, and then he'll reverse, he'll go outside, and you see that acceleration that he has despite his 6'3", 250-pound frame. I'm all in on Derrick Henry now, and I'm not sure if he's great, honestly. I don't know if he's great, but let's find out, right? I indicated last week, like, I'd be fine if we went out and got a big A-list running back. So let's find out, though, if we need to do that. Again, not because I think Derrick Henry's bad, but I think this offseason we need to start having the discussion of bringing elite players in here no matter what position they play other than quarterback, because we're fine there to me, and left tackle. Other than that, honestly, I'd be down for upgrades everywhere. Even tight end at this point, I'd be down. Right tackle, maybe not, but even that I would entertain. So we'll talk about that later. Derrick Henry, to me, starting running back for this team. Let's go. Let's see what he has. Because DeMarco Murray today, 12 carries for 9 yards. And look, I don't think he's ass. You know, I don't want to make it seem as if I'm saying he's ass, that he's done, that he's finished. But whenever the play is not there to be made, he can't do anything. Where Derrick Henry can, Derrick Henry can pound through some people, can accelerate to the outside, doesn't always look for the stiff arm, kind of looks to get upfield at times, where DeMarco Murray is looking to grab people's heads and stiff arm them, which is cute, but dude, go get some extra yardage. So I'm all in on Derrick Henry, but we still need to use DeMarco Murray in spots because Murray is dangerous in the receiving game. He's a really good receiving back at this point. He has developed that part of his game, so I'm fine using DeMarco Murray. But I need to see now Derrick Henry get the lion's share. I think we're timed, and it's time for that, and we're ready for that. So, look at the receivers today. Delanie Walker was a beast. As always, 4 receptions, 63 yards. He's fantastic. He's great. No problems there. Corey Davis, a very quiet, I would say, 4 receptions for 39 yards. I don't even remember 2 of these catches. I don't know where the other ones came from. Still, we're not really using this guy up to his potential. To me, I guess we're not going to see that this year. I guess we're just going to have to wait until next year to see it. I'm still optimistic about him, but I'm not, over enthused, let's say. I think he's going to be fun. I think he's going to be good. This year, we just can't really say much. We can't say much. We can't see much. We're just getting what we're getting now. We missed Rashard Matthews today. He was out today with a hamstring injury. And real quick on that, look, I saw some people tweeting, man, the Titans have really had some bad luck with hamstrings this year. And that's true. But, dog, we can't complain about injuries. We're pretty freaking healthy, okay? The Texans can complain about injuries. The Giants can complain about injuries. We can't complain about injuries. We just have a couple of players missing a couple of games every other week, okay? We don't have no damn torn ACLs, no damn torn Achilles, broken collarbones. We ain't got none of that, okay? So, honestly, we're very healthy, which kind of scares me because what's going to happen next year when we're not? So, look out for that. But again, DeMarco Murray, he had 3 receptions, 33 yards. So, again, you're seeing what he does in the receiving game. So, still use him there. Eric Decker, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't like it. I don't like anything from Eric Decker. He always gets into these, because he's a very good outside receiver, or at least he used to be. Very good sideline receiver. but I think he's lost it because he'll be on the sidelines, you know, trying to catch a curl or a comeback near the sideline, and the cornerbacks, whenever they're physical with him, he has no shot. He has absolutely no shot to come down with the ball. He is not physical at all. He didn't used to be this much of a prima donna, so I don't know what's happened there. Probably too much sex with Jesse James Decker. I don't know, but I don't trust this guy right now. Harry Douglas, again, he was awful. He got targeted 3 times, 1 reception for 8 yards. I didn't see anything from him to indicate that he's any better than he was 2 years ago. And then Taywan Taylor, what the hell? As he slipped and fell on that horrible interception. Again, it wasn't on Mariota to me. I think it was all on Taywan Taylor. Falling down. Look, I've been trying to be a proponent, trying to be a fan, a stan of Taywan Taylor getting more playing time, but man, you can't come out and fall on the ground when Mariota is throwing to you. I mean, this is one of the most dangerous things a wide receiver can do, and this is what he did. And this is why I said when we drafted Taywan Taylor, I was like, you know, he's probably not even going to be as good as Kendall Wright. But people are going to like him more because he has lower expectations. Because this is a 3rd round pick and he's going to ascend, most likely, hopefully. We're going to like him more. But Kendall Wright's better than this. Look, he was better than this as a rookie. I mean, maybe Taywan Taylor's going to improve, but Kendall Wright was better than this. I mean, come on, let's give Kendall Wright at least that. Kendall Wright would fall down at times, yes, but he'd give us something other than that. So, Taywan Taylor, step it up, bruh. We have the defensive side of things, where Avery Williamson had a sack today, and our defense total had, what, 8 sacks today? Ridiculous there. But I thought Avery Williamson stunk today. I saw multiple plays in which he was assigned to Jack Doyle, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Quite frankly, he'd either be tricked by misdirection, he just had bad coverage overall. Not impressed by Avery Williamson yet again. Wesley Woodyard struggled a bit today covering Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle, he was all over us today. Big problem there. Jonathan Cyprien, you know, he made some plays. Actually, I finally saw this guy. I rarely see Jonathan Cyprien actually doing something. He actually did stuff today. Kevin Byers still making plays. Daquan Jones, he stepped up today. He made a couple plays, got a couple sacks. Nice to see some burst from this guy, because I never see any burst, any energy, anything from Daquan Jones. So as I see that, I still saw nothing from Sylvester Williams. Can anyone tell me what he does? You know, did he register anything? Okay, he registered 2 tackles. I didn't see him. You know, I don't know what Sylvester Williams actually does. I'll never understand it. Like, Pro Football Focus give this guy a decent grade, like an average grade of about 72. And I don't know what they're seeing. I mean, he is a big guy, and he can just, you know, sit there. He doesn't get moved very much, but he doesn't actually do anything in terms of penetrating and getting to the running back or quarterback. He actually doesn't penetrate anything. He'll just sit there with this big 300-pound booty, and he won't be moved. So that's nice. But, I mean, I just don't understand what this guy really does for this football team. I never understand. So anyway, Brandon Rekpo, actual beast today. Total beast, 1.5 sacks. I would have liked to have seen a strip sack, but still, he did a good job today. No problems there. Eric Walden got involved. 8 sacks total. Great job by our defense today in terms of getting sacks. And they stepped it up after last week. You know, I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Dick LeBeau got under their asses, you know, lit a fire under their ass, and they came out ready to play today. And you saw that for the most part. Again, did not like the coverage on Jack Doyle, but T.Y. Hilton didn't do much today. Adoree Jackson, right, again, he's doing all right now. I did not love the play he gave up. Who was it to? It was to some Chester Rogers? Was that the Indianapolis Colts wide receiver that got that pass? Yeah, it was a slant inside. Adoree Jackson was like 8 yards off from the line of scrimmage. Slant. Jackson couldn't make the tackle. Rogers got the first down. So, didn't love that play. But other than that, Jackson was fine. Everything was fine today defensively. No real problems there. We were fine there. So, one thing I wanted to touch on, because this is a big topic of discussion. Everyone wants to fire Mike Mularkey, okay? Or Terry Robisky. Now, I haven't watched the Terry Robisky video, but if you haven't heard about this, I'll explain what I know. Apparently, Terry Robisky, either on Thursday or Friday, was in a press conference or a conference call or something, in which he said that basically he doesn't know what he's doing. That Mike Mularkey will frequently lambast and criticize him, and he says something like, good play callers never call a play twice, but I'm not good, so I do it all the time. I need to watch this crap. But let me tell you this, I would be fine changing offensive coordinators, but I don't want to fire Mike Mularkey at all. I'm sorry, I really don't want to do it. And this is funny, right? Because I was the guy that was saying after week 4 last year that we needed to fire Mike Mularkey. But first of all, I like to believe I matured a bit since last year. Well, just look around the NFL, people. Just look. Okay, it's so easy to be a Titans fan, so focus on the Titans and just to do that. But look around the NFL. Just look. Okay, are you convinced that if you go out and you hire some random guy that he's going to be better than what we currently have? Because what we currently have in Mike Mularkey is a guy that went 9-7 in his first year, right? We're throwing out that interim year. We have to throw it out. He went 9-7 his first year. Far exceeded expectations. Far exceeded. Okay? Expectations that year for me was 7-9. We went 9-7. Okay? That's 2-win improvement. That's fantastic. This year is on par with expectations. Now, maybe you thought we were going to be a 12-4 team, 13-3. That's on you. I said 11-5. Mariota got hurt. I said 10-6. That's where we're headed. Okay? So, I've had no problems with Mike Mularkey thus far. And I know it's so easy to look at these first-year head coaches in Doug Peterson and Sean McVay and say, man, I really want one of those guys. I want a guy like that can come in and make us be really good, and we'll be really good, and it'll be great. It's great to look at a Sean McVay. It's great to look at a Doug Peterson. But what you're forgetting about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers thought they had that in Dirk Cutter. The New York Giants thought they had that in Ben McAdoo. I mean, there are hires every year where you think that this guy's going to come in and be a big offensive genius, and it really doesn't work out. The Dolphins thought they had that in Adam Gase. Now they're having questions up there. And then you have a realm of coaches that more often than not meet expectations, can be disappointing one year, can have a good year. It just kind of depends, right? You have your Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. Like, he meets expectations. He hasn't been back to the Super Bowl in now 7 years. They thought about firing him. They haven't, but they have. Mike Tomlin, he's met expectations to me, but people call for Tomlin's job. You have coaches that win a Super Bowl, but then can't do anything afterwards, like a John Harbaugh or a Tom Coughlin. Like, just look around the league. There's not many good coaches. I mean, who the hell do you want? Do you want Andy Reid? What's Andy Reid going to do? He's going to come in here. He's going to take us to the playoffs every year, and we're going to lose every year. I mean, there's a belief out there that there's some better option. There's some alternative of a coach that's going to come in here and going to lead us to the Super Bowl every year. Just look around the league. That doesn't exist. There is one guy that can do that, and his name is Bill Belichick. He's the greatest head coach of all time, and he ain't coming here. Even Pete Carroll may not make the playoffs this year and is going to go under expectation for the Seattle Seahawks if he does. Okay, so who the hell exactly do you want here? It's easy to look at Doug Peterson and Sean McVay, but I guarantee you, and listen to me now, put this on the record, one of them is going to be fired in the next 4 years. I don't know who, but I can guarantee you that's what's going to happen, because every year, like Ben McAdoo last year, first-year head coach looks absolutely great. Dirk Cutter looked good last year, right? Next year, fall flat. Next year, could lower expectations again or not meet expectations again, fired. Just like that. I mean, this is pretty good, people. We have a head coach right now that exceeded expectations his first year and is currently meeting expectations. You don't fire that guy. It's easy to look at Sean Payton right now and say, man, that guy is really good. What did he do for the past 3 years? 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. Every head coach in the NFL, just look around. Every head coach in the NFL has their problems. As long as you're doing, to me, okay, as long as you're around or surpassing expectations, you gotta hold on to your guy. The minute you fall flat, the minute you go under expectations, the minute you're awful, fine. You can get rid of that guy, you can move on, whatever. But we got a pretty good deal. And if you're trying to tell me that we should go pick up the phone and start calling random offensive coordinators that have never coached anything, like the offensive coordinator for Green Bay, the offensive coordinator for, I don't know, Indianapolis, or maybe, you know, who's doing well right now? The Eagles offensive coordinator, whoever the hell he is, that these no names that we don't know about. Can you tell me for sure that that guy's not going to be Ben McAdoo? That guy's not going to be Dirk Cutter? That guy's not going to be Ken Wisenhunt? Can you guarantee that to me? Because you could easily go down that road and we could go backwards, people. Right now we're going forwards. We went 9-7 last year, and we're going at least 10-6 this year. Maybe 9-7 again, but we're gonna make the playoffs as long as we take care of business from here on out. So you guys can keep talking about firing Mike Mularkey. I think that talk is ridiculous. Look around the league. Just gain perspective of coaches around the league. And you're gonna see a bunch of coaches that either meet expectations, just as Mike Mularkey is doing now, the occasional superstar coach like a Doug Peterson and Sean McVay that are doing really well this year, but we need to see how they do in the future because things could take a rapid turn real quick, or a bunch of coaches that are mediocre, below average, and are going to be fired at the end of this year. Okay, instead of Mike Mularkey, we could have Todd Bowles, we could have Vance Joseph, we could have Jim Caldwell. The majority of coaches in the NFL, the overwhelming majority, ain't that good. All these coaching candidates ain't that good. Now, there is one man that I would raise an eyebrow at, assuming we're not talking about like Tony Dungy possibly coming back, and that is Josh McDaniels, because I think, okay, that guy could be transformative. That guy could really make the difference. That guy could really change stuff up. If we would call him, pick him up on the phone on a private line, you know, maybe add him on Instagram and DM him, slide in his DMs, right, under the radar. Don't fire Mike Mularkey, but just under the radar, you know, send him a little love note. I'd be fine with that. But talking about firing Mike Mularkey right now is ridiculous. People, just look around the league. There's not many good coaches. Even Mike Zimmer, who's doing really well last year, under expectations. Under expectations. Relax on the coaching stuff. Now, I will say this, okay? I am still confident about this team making the playoffs. However, today was not great. It was an ugly game. It was a game in which I didn't feel we were going to lose because, I felt we were going to come back, but I was a bit concerned. But we got it done. And we've done this consistently enough to where I think we're going to continue to do it. But we must be careful because the Texans next week, I don't think they're going to be as easy as the Colts were today. The Colts today weren't that good. You can tell that the other team today stunk, especially offensively. Like Marlon Mack, that ridiculous fumble was just absurd. It was awful. Jacoby Brissett is very raw. You can see his potential, but he can't even move the chains. Like, he can't be a consistent chain mover. When he's running the ball, he can, but he struggles even hitting slants, even hitting crossing routes. The easiest of throws he struggles to make. Hitting running backs in the check down in the flat, he can't even do that. So he just can't move the chains. You can see his raw potential. He can throw the deep ball. It's great, very raw. But even the